Welcome to Attleboro Update. The campaign trail for those running for the seat of Massachusetts governor is heating up. Charlie Baker has stepped into the ring for the second time after an unsuccessful campaign in 2010. Late last week, he stopped into Attleboro for a tour of the city, ending with a tour of the Attleboro Jewelers. We spoke with Mr. Baker to learn more about his past experience and what he would like to bring to Attleboro residents as governor.
Part of the reason I came down here today was spent a little time with the mayor, checked out the multimodal mixed-use development that's going on, spent a little time here with the jewelry industry, which is obviously a huge part of Attleboro's history, and I'm going to spend a lot of my time in this campaign just going from community to community and talking to folks in those communities, employers about what we can do to create more jobs, local officials about what we can do to build better communities and better schools, and really spend the next couple of months actually spending a lot of time listening as I go about building a platform for 2014. I spent 8 years working for Bill Weld and Paul Cellucci when they were governor in the 90s. I was Secretary of Health and Human Services and Secretary of Administration and Finance. We had a lot of success then doing a lot of things on a bipartisan basis: education reform, welfare reform, workers' comp reform. Our workers' comp costs went from the highest in the country to the lowest. We actually also took our unemployment rate at that time from one of the highest in the country to one of the lowest. But that's because we were really aggressive about doing the things we needed to do to grow businesses and create jobs. I left there and went to work for Harvard Pilgrim, which is a big health plan here in New England, and took it from receivership, where it was almost going to go out of business, to the #1 ranked plan in the country for 7 years in a row for member satisfaction. I think jobs is the big issue, and I think we just need to be hungry about that. I worry that we're a little complacent, and I want a state government that's as thrifty and as hardworking and as creative as the people of Massachusetts, because that's what I think the people of Massachusetts deserve. I'm actually a big fan of this part of Massachusetts. I spent a bunch of time down here when I ran in 2010. I really like the people. I think there's a really nice vibe to this part of Massachusetts, and I'd like to see if there are things that I could do if I were to win the election in November to be helpful here. That's where my focus is going to be. More jobs, close the achievement gap on schools so that every school is a great school, and do the things we need to do to make sure our communities across Massachusetts are safe, vibrant, and thriving. I think there's a lot of great stuff going on down here. I went over and spent some time at the multimodal mixed-use facility that you're leading the charge on over there. I think it's going to be a terrific asset for the community for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is by moving the DPW and creating a lot of sort of residential and commercial development down there. You're going to sort of bring the city back to the water there, which I think is going to be terrific. I also think it's going to sort of expand the downtown and create a whole new set of development opportunities down there. And this place, the jewelry industry is a huge part of the history of southeastern Massachusetts and the history of Attleboro. And I learned a lot today that I didn't know. And I also had a chance to buy my wife a tardy 26th wedding anniversary gift, which I was pretty happy to do as well.